So I'm just kind of in the middle of doing some drawings of a character walking, noticing something, and freaking out. Just basically 3 storytelling drawings here. So basically what I'm trying to figure out now is I'm kind of backtracking. I started out with the first key pose, and I found that the second storytelling drawing kind of worked better, so now I'm sort of working backwards, trying to figure out what this key should look like instead. So here's a very common problem in animation, where you find that you'll sketch out something, and then you'll go on and move to another pose and find that second pose kind of you like it better, and as a result, oftentimes working backwards and editing that first pose is better than changing the second pose so that it works with the first pose. You know, it's kind of confusing. Hopefully not too confusing, but basically what's happening here is that I'm just trying to figure out where this character is in his walk cycle. When he first turns around. So maybe his right arm is kind of just coming around like that. And then, so kind of liking the first key, I have him in his passing pose. That's what this is called, the passing pose right here. You know, and this is just kind of like the main contact pose. It's when both feet are kind of touching the ground. This one actually should be technically on his toes, if you want to be technical about it. So the idea is that he looks behind him and he sees something he doesn't really like, and then the third pose, he sort of has his reaction. So this is kind of a way you can thumbnail out an idea if you're sort of exploring you know, expressions, poses, how they're going to relate to each other when you start animating. You could probably just take this and then copy it right onto your animation and just start breaking it down from there, making sure it kind of relates. What I mean by making sure it relates is, you know, just so that when you flip from drawing to drawing, it kind of, the volumes kind of match and stuff like that, and that's something you can sort of take care of when you start fleshing out more details. But this is just kind of an example of, you know, a really quick thumbnail pass. This is just one way an animator can explore ideas for a shot. And also, like I said, a very common thing that happens to me when I'm animating is that I'll oftentimes find that it's very useful to work backwards. So, you know, I originally started with this drawing and it was all wrong. It's totally different from what it ended up being, you know, and I moved on to this drawing, which was a little bit better. And then this one, which I like the most, you know, and as a result, I kind of went back into this one, changed it to fit with what's going on with these. So I was working backwards. And I'd probably go in and tweak that one too, because as you can see, there are certain things about this pose that just don't fit, you know, like the weight distribution and just the gem. I'd probably change this arm a little bit. As you can see here, I'm kind of paying more attention since I kind of generally like the direction that the poses are going. Now I'm kind of examining, I'm looking back and forth between the two poses right now just to kind of see how they relate, how the volumes and the shapes relate to each other from drawing to drawing. And that's a very important skill to develop as an animator, is just being able to see volumes change and be able to keep them consistent. But also the thing that adds a lot of appeal is finding ways to change shape. And that's something you can kind of get into more when you flesh it out. But this is just an example of, you know, planning, thumbnailing, keyframing, whatever. Cool. Bye-bye.